Tonight, a woman questions why she was asked to leave the country voluntarily. It happened while her legal permanent resident status was pending.
Channel 5's Carolina Cruz explains what happened leading up to the moment the woman was deported and how authorities responded to our questions.
This is what we've learned. Miriam Salazar is in Mexico tonight. She entered the United States on a tourist visa last year. She filed paperwork to become a permanent resident, but was a few months away from having her green card in hand. That's what her attorney claims. Tonight, the reality of her legal status is murky. Miriam Salazar and her husband, a U.S. citizen, decided to come to the United States after years of living in Monterrey, Mexico. They have 3 children and wanted to be closer to family. Salazar entered the country in December on a tourist visa. Less than a month later, she filed an adjustment of status to become a legal permanent resident. By February, her fingerprints were taken by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. She was pending an interview date from USCIS. Throughout this entire process, Salazar continued living in the valley.
She wanted to visit some cousins in San Antonio, and I told her, don't go because that could be considered illegal.
So I told him, well, why don't we check? Before we do anything, let's check. Let's ask.
Salazar went to the FAR International Bridge seeking answers. She asked an officer if she could travel north past the checkpoint. She showed that officer her tourist visa, along with proof of her pending paperwork.
The officer told me, to us, you are in the country legally. So in that case, I have to ask you to sign a voluntary deportation, or else I'll have to detain you and deport you.
Salazar's attorney, Alex Martinez, says she was detained at the FAR International Bridge and given a voluntary deportation form.
Unfortunately now, she is in Mexico because she signed her voluntary departure after she was told that she was going to get deported if she did it.
Martinez says his client was lawfully in the country. He claims her detainment and the officer's request for deportation were a mistake.
The Attorney General has specifically articulated that individuals that have a residency application pending are authorized to stay in the United States.
Channel 5 reached out to the Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, USCIS, and the Department of State. Our questions were directed to CBP for comment. They told us they could not comment on specific cases. They did send us this statement reading in part, CBP shall determine if an alien is unlawfully present in the U.S., is engaged in unlawful employment, or has violated any provisions of the Immigration and Nationality Act, making the alien subject to administrative removal. Martinez is working to figure out what happens now with Salazar's pending immigration case. Martinez says the biggest question he has now is what this case means for the rest of folks pending a legal status in the U.S. We directed this question to DHS. They declined to comment, saying, quote, because hypothetical questions can easily fail to include all relevant facts considered in the administration of United States immigration laws, we decline to respond. In the studio, Carolina Cruz, Channel 5 News at 10.